Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to Get Hit with the Truth. So today we are doing the What's Next on the undefeated and undisputed lightweight champion of the world, Devin Haney, following his controversial 12-round unanimous decision victory over Vasyl Lomachenko as he retained the undisputed title and stayed undefeated. We'll be looking at what potentially he'll be doing next. So before we get into that, if you guys could smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate any and all support that I can get as I try to build my channel up. If you don't like what I'm doing, you could give me a thumbs down and leave me a comment letting me know why. I'm open to all that. But let's get back to Devin Haney following this victory over Lomachenko. You know, a lot of talk has been done about potential showdowns with Gervonta Davis, with potentially Shakur Stevenson, a rematch with Lomachenko, or even moving up to 140 pounds. So I'm going to run through the top 10 here at 135 and see what could be possible for him. We start with a rematch with Vasyl Lomachenko, and to be honest, I think this is the most likely to happen. Lomachenko, you know, really deserves the fight. I think there's enough noise being made for the fight to take place. So I think very good chance that we see a rematch between these two, even though they haven't, even though Haney hasn't come out and flat out said he will fight him in a rematch. And actually Haney's dad has said, I don't think the fight was that close to warrant a rematch, but I think that's just a ploy. I think there is a solid chance that a rematch happens. Then you got a showdown with, you know, a third fight with George Kambosos. No way that happens. He's handled Kambosos easily twice. There's no reason for it. Shakur Stevenson, I don't think so. I don't think Devin Haney has any interest in fighting Shakur Stevenson next. I think he's going to avoid him at all costs. So I'm not seeing that one. Then you got Tank Davis. I really don't believe Tank Davis wants this fight. I think Tank is going to sign on to fight Isaac Cruz in a rematch, and I really don't see Haney and Tank getting it on, but it is an easy fight to make. They're both coming off of major wins. Tank might just, you know, he might take the fight, but again, it's an easy fight to make because Haney is a promotional free agent now, and he could just sign on with the PBC and go straight into that fight. But as of right now, don't know. Not sure if that's going to be the case. Any other guys at lightweight aren't likely, in my opinion. Isaac Cruz, I don't see it. Jermaine Ortiz, no. And it's just because they're not big enough fights. William Zepeda, no. Raymond Muratalla, no. And Gustavo Lemos, no. They're all just not major names, and I think Haney, if he's going to stay at 135, it's going to be for a major name. Now 140, is there any potentials there? You know, that's interesting. Josh Taylor would be a no. He's the undefeated junior welterweight champ at 140. Not likely. He's fighting Teofimo Lopez next. Maybe Haney would say, hey, I'm the WBO champ at 135 and I want a direct shot at Taylor, depending on how he looks. So yeah, maybe that's a possibility. You know, but I want to lean towards the less likely, but again, it actually seems like more of a possibility than anything because Taylor is a Top Rank guy and Haney just finished a 3-fight deal with Top Rank, so he doesn't have any beef there. That is a possibility, and that fight happens this weekend. They got Regis Prograis. There's been talks of this fight because Devin Haney and Eddie Hearn have been talking about Haney going back to Eddie Herman Matchroom Boxing. So there is a chance that Prograis defends the title against Haney next, but I really don't think Haney wants that fight, so I'm going to say no. I don't think he wants to fight Prograis next. Jose Ramirez, another top-ranked guy. He doesn't bring a title to the table at 140, so I don't see it. Teofimo Lopez. This one's interesting. If Teo were to beat Josh Taylor this Saturday for the WBO title, Haney could cash in and say, I want to fight Teo next in my first fight at 140. So I do think that makes it possible. Jack Catterall, I don't see it, but then again, maybe if Haney is not dead set on fighting for a world title at 140 next, I think Haney and Catterall would be a good first fight for Haney as he makes his debut at 140. So I definitely think that's a possibility. Gary Antoine Russell, I don't see that fight at all. He's a PBC guy, and it's just, in my opinion, a bad matchup for Haney, so I don't see it. Ryan Garcia, maybe Ryan, and because if Haney were to sign with Matchroom, maybe he goes straight after Ryan, but I don't know if Ryan wants that fight in his very first official fight after the knockout loss to Tank Davis, and I don't know if Haney wants to take that chance right out the gate. Sandor Martin, this is an interesting one. He's usually a promotional free agent, like in terms of he doesn't really have a solid deal with anybody. He can pretty much fight wherever he wants. Interesting opponent for Haney in his first fight. Personally, I think it's a bad matchup because of Martin's awkward style, but I wouldn't be completely surprised if Haney decided to take on Martin, considering Martin has had a couple good solid performances against world-class fighters like Mikey Garcia, and then after that with Teofimo Lopez. Then you got former world title challenger Jose Cepeda. Another fight that I wouldn't be completely surprised if Haney went after it, but I don't believe he will, because Cepeda does kind of pose a threat. He is a strong guy at 140. He can bang. He might be able to land something big. And then you got the newly crowned WBA champion, Rolly Romero. I'm not seeing that one. Rolly's with the PBC, and he's likely going to be making a mandatory next. And then, you know, guys like Puello and Victor Postal and Subriel Matias, not seeing any of those fights next. But Haney definitely has options, considering there's two divisions here, and he does have a name. He's the undisputed champ at 135 still. But I really think Haney wants to land a Lomachenko fight. Land a Tank Davis fight before he moves up. And even if Tank doesn't want to fight him next, the attraction of a rematch with Vasyl Lomachenko, to leave no doubt, is right there. And I'm leaning towards it being that. But if he gives up his belts and moves to 140, or if they allow him to hold on to his belts for one fight, I think there's a very good chance of him versus the winner of Taylor Lopez or Jack Catterall would be a big one if he ends up signing with Matchroom. And then there's also the possibility of Regis Prograis, because that's being talked about. So we'll see what happens for Devin Haney, but that's his what's next. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.